today is something I think really important, and that is how to use these skills when we have a cesarean birth. And so sometimes we feel like a cesarean birth we aren't able to use any skills, or we feel like totally helpless when it comes to what we can do. And actually using our breath is something really powerful that we can do during a cesarean birth that can help us have a better birth experience. And that's what I want for everyone, to have a more positive birth experience and be able to cope with whatever turns their birth takes in this birth journey. I want you to be ready for it and prepared. When we talk about having a cesarean birth, there's two different types of cesarean births. We can have labor that ends in a cesarean. So, laboring as normal, planning on the vaginal birth, and then something happens that takes us to a cesarean birth or a scheduled cesarean birth. So first I want to talk about a labor that changes to cesarean. In this case, sometimes we can feel frustrated, defeated. Sometimes we can feel relieved. There's lots of different emotions that happen when that decision is made. But one thing that a lot of people feel is like, now I don't have anything to do. It's in their hands. I'm just a passive person here, and they're just going to take the baby and I'm not going to be involved. And that's really not true. That we actually need you to continue to work even with a cesarean. And the main thing that you can do is to have a nice, calm, and breathe, have all of your senses about you, have yourself calm and peaceful, because what happens with that is it will help you enjoy the experience better. If you're not anxious, if you're not panicky, if you're not, disassociating from the birth, if you can be present, that's better for your birth team to communicate with you during the cesarean surgery, to make sure that you're getting all of your wishes. If you had desires, like maybe you want to try skin to skin in the OR, if that's an option for you, being nice and calm and peaceful will only help that happen. So it feels like a time sometimes to check out and kind of change when we're changing courses, but it's really a time that your job changes to one of being peaceful and calm and monitoring and managing your breath. So having the skill of being able to focus on your breath can really help. Now, one thing, whether it's a unscheduled cesarean birth or a scheduled, sometimes we can feel the medicine kind of rise, and it sometimes, or as the medicine is numbing us, sometimes it can give us this feeling of shortness of breath or pressure, and focusing on, in and out, in and out. And even if you can't do long breaths, but if you're just doing a paced breath, can really help sort of manage that feeling, that uncomfortable feeling that you might get as that medication is taking effect in your body. So partners can also help here too. So they can encourage you, okay, nice, slow breathing. Remember, breathing is helpful for the baby, and let's breathe together. Using those kind of words is great during a cesarean birth. Now, with a scheduled cesarean birth, sometimes you can still have that little, anxiety or a little nervous about the procedure that's coming up. I mean, it is surgical procedure. So sometimes in the pre-op, we can get anxious and our breath can be very shallow. We can be breathing quickly. So just focusing during that time on the relaxation, on nice, slow, easy breaths, calm, thinking of the exciting time ahead of meeting your baby. I like to suggest during either, but definitely in pre-op, if you have a scheduled cesarean birth, you can put on some music that's going to make you calm, make you peaceful, something that is a favorite of yours, or a type of music that might just really help make you feel nice and peaceful and excited for the upcoming meeting of your baby, which is really great. Now, we've been talking about layering, that as we go through, from early labor to active labor, adding layers can really help. Well, we can still add layers during a cesarean birth. So I wanted to talk about a couple layers that you can use. With your breath, you can add on visualization. So the one we did yesterday, day 11, was visualization, which I absolutely love, which is, thinking of something that's very easy for you. So if you are feeling anxious while they're, getting the operating room ready, just close your eyes, breathe, and picture something very easy to think about. Sometimes people like to, if they have a pet that they're very close to, sometimes they think about their pets at this time. That's usually something that's really easy to bring some like calm and joy. But anything really easy, just breathing and using that visualization can help. You can also still use your vocalization. I would say it's not my favorite during a cesarean birth because there is a lot going on, but it is possible to do some oohs and some low ahs with your breath. But you can also use rhythm. Now, you don't have the ability to move your body, but tapping your hands, tapping your fingers with a breath, tap, 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 something like that. So little. And it probably, it might sound silly, okay? But trust me that this little extra rhythm can really help kind of get into the groove, get into that new environment, especially if you move from labor and delivery into, thinking you're going to have a vaginal birth into cesarean, kind of getting you sort of calm and steady and ready for the next phase of your journey. So today, what I wanted to do is recommend that you try either visualization with your breathing or rhythm with some tapping during your breathing. So just like each day, we're going to practice. We're going to do that nice cleansing breath in. We're going to do 2 breaths where we picture sort of relaxing. And then that's where I invite you to either do visualization or the rhythm as a layer. Okay? Why don't we do a 30-second like we did the other day? Cleansing breath. Remember, face, jaw, shoulders are those spots. Okay, now 30 seconds. Did you do that with me? I hope so. You didn't see me, but I was doing it. Let's do a high five for another day of a job well done practicing. If you have any questions, I'm going to pop my email address real quick on screen. Please send me a message. I love taking questions from viewers. I actually got the sweetest note from a viewer today who had a baby last July, but watched some videos. So, that's just totally made my day. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome day. Next up, what I recommend for you is to build your mindset. And down below the videos, you'll find our affirmation video. Down below this video, you'll find links to birth affirmation videos that are a great way to do a daily practice of affirmation, build that mindset, get it ready for birth. Because if you've got a mindset that's ready, you've got your breathing practice that's ready, man, you are going to go in with some pretty sharp, awesome tools for your labor. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow for day 13. Bye, everyone.